And this is another installment of Broads with Beer.
Is that wrong?
Let's try it again. Hey, this is Megan.
And Sue in the restricted section.
And this is another installment of
Broads with Beer.
And today we are drinking Oktoberfest from Santa Fe Brewing Company.
Yes.
Because it's October, bitches.
Yeah, although isn't the real Oktoberfest in September?
I don't know.
Oh, uh-oh.
That was weird.
It's a little foamy, a little explodey.
Hello, friend.
I like it.
Yeah.
Tastes pretty good.
Tastes pretty solid.
I'm into it.
I can get behind it.
Have I had Santa Fe Brewing Company before? I'm not sure.
I don't think I have, but I don't know.
It says beer, sausage, polka, repeat.
It also says celebrate the season for no reason.
Yeah.
If the reason is beer, I'm in.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, so today's topic.
Topic to talk about.
I'll give you a topic.
A talk.
Did anyone get that reference?
Anyone?
Everyone on
Everyone's
BookTube
super
is
young.
like 12 years old,
Right.
so.
All right, talk amongst yourselves.
Hello, this is Coffee Talk with Linda Richmond. I'm feeling a little verklempt.
A little verklempt. It was like butter. If you get those references, let us know.
All right. Anyway,
Anywho.
our topic today, we thought we'd talk about, because I somewhat recently, what was it, a month ago or something, I read the book Shrill by Lindy West, and I made a discussion video about that, which I'll go ahead and link down below if you want to check that out.
That's my favorite video you've done to date, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
Well, thank you.
Love it.
But we thought we'd talk about, because in the book she talks a lot about what it was like being a plus size woman and growing up being plus size her whole life. Like she always was plus size, which has been my experience as well. And so we thought we'd talk about how our experiences have differed, because Megan is a thin person, obviously, and has always been a thin person.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we're just going to talk about how our experiences might have been different because of our size.
Yeah.
So
that'll be interesting.
let's discuss.
Let's do it. Yeah, so I've always been small. I think, and I was a late bloomer too, so I looked like a boy until I was about 16 years old. I was completely flat everywhere. And that's kind of, when you're a teenager, you're kind of starting to like discover your sexuality and figure out like, starting to feel like a woman instead of a little girl. I looked like a boy, so I was not attractive to other boys. I really wanted to be, but I had no curves to speak of. I didn't feel especially feminine. A lot of people then, and even still now, would say like, you need to eat something. Or I got called zipper, because if I stuck out my tongue, I'd look like a zipper, which isn't super clever, but it's fine. But yeah, so I kind of had a hard time with that, because I was kind of becoming a woman, but I really didn't feel like one.
Right. Boys weren't interested in me either, that I know of. But I think it was more because of like my body, that I was bigger, and I'm also very tall. I've always been very tall.
Yeah, you're
so I think
a
in
tall
some ways
person.
I might have been pretty intimidating, because I'm just like was towering over a lot of the boys for a really long time as well.
Yeah.
And like in high school, a lot of them caught up to me and got taller than me, but I was still taller than a lot of the boys.
Clothing can be an issue, I think for all women, but growing up, like I said, I've always been small, but I have freakishly long legs.
Me too.
And all of the clothing sizes, it seems like, for smaller people, assume that they're also short. So I would try to go by...
I feel like that's just women, because all of the plus size clothing, I feel like, is also short. It's like, you think because I'm fat, I'm going to be like this short little dumpy lady.
Right, and I think you think because I'm small, like you think I'm going to be like this little petite thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm gangly as fuck. Like, I need some long ass pants. So yeah, junior high was rough because literally all my pants were like flood pants.
I was the same way. And also, the only place in town to buy clothing was Walmart. Besides, there was like this department store that had name brand stuff, but it was like way overpriced, and also they didn't have plus size clothing, so I couldn't wear like any of it. So the only place I could shop for clothing, because my parents sure as hell weren't going to take me to Springfield to buy clothes, was Walmart. And Walmart's clothes are not that bad these days.
No, they're not.
But when I was a kid, they were awful.
Yeah,
they were very
They were
unfashionable. And even still now, like, Walmart's plus size section isn't great.
I feel like that's true of a lot of plus size sections.
Yeah.
Like what? Because someone's larger, you think they have to look frumpy?
Yeah, like, I don't understand
Like, what's
why
wrong with
you
you?
can't just make the same clothes that are
Just
in the
make
straight
them
size
bigger.
section and just make them bigger.
Right. Like, just because someone has to, is wearing plus sizes doesn't mean that they're like, that they need to look frumpy. Like,
Yeah.
make them fashionable and just make the same clothes bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get that either.
I don't
I don't understand. But yeah, so I had to wear Walmart clothes, and they were really unattractive and just bad. Just bad and unflattering. So yeah, I had the same experience there, actually.
With clothing.
I think that it's just hard buying clothes
yeah.
as a woman in general, because like the one thing that really pisses me off
The dude size
is that
versus women's
Walmart
size thing?
will sell cheap pants. Walmart will sell dudes cheap pants that they can buy by length. But when you go to buy cheap pants in the women's section,
You can't buy them
you
by
have
length.
one length.
Yep.
Not all women are the same height.
No. Some of us
Pisses
are
me
gangly
off
as fuck.
so much. Like, why do I not have that option? I have to spend a bunch of money on
Right.
pants to buy them by length.
Right. If I can choose my own inseam on some pants, but they're really expensive and I have to buy them online.
Yeah.
But like, dude pants are sized waist length. So it's like 32 by 34 or whatever. Why are women's clothes like that?
Yeah.
Why do I have to have like why is it just a one number size?
Yeah.
And like
it
a
makes me
size
so angry, because like the cheapest pair of women's jeans I found that sell by length has been like $45.
Yep.
And men can go to Walmart and buy a pair for like maybe $20 or less.
Yep.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
But anyway, I feel like we got a little bit off topic.
We digress. But another thing I think is like, people make comments about your size, and I think that's maybe true for both larger and smaller people. I think people, for some reason, feel the need to comment. Like I said, I got told to eat something. I got asked probably on a weekly basis in school if I was anorexic.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, the
never
thing is,
have
though,
been.
is that I really didn't experience that much.
Really?
Because I think that people don't consider it offensive to call someone skinny, or to say, you know what I mean? Like, they don't think that they're saying anything wrong. But if someone was like, you're really fat, you need to lose weight,
Right.
like, that's rude.
That's rude.
But
Yeah.
to tell someone eat a cheeseburger, they think,
Right,
like,
that's
I'm
okay.
complimenting you because you're so
Right.
thin. You know what I mean?
That's still offensive, because it's like, what's wrong with me? Like, it still makes me feel deficient, you know, when people are like, and to be asked, I was asked lots of times if I was anorexic. That's incredibly offensive. Like, that's a really serious disease and disorder, and to just throw that around because someone's small, like, that was
Right.
incredibly offensive to me, and that was during junior high when I was super fucking self-conscious anyway.
Right.
You know?
And I think, I don't think people realize that, because to them, inside, they're probably thinking, like, I wish I was skinny,
Right.
like her, you know what I mean? Because it's clearly, in society, it's more
Right.
acceptable to be thin than to be
thin.
fat.
Right.
So,
Yep.
you know, people didn't say those things to me because they knew that that was offensive.
Yep.
You know? And I feel like I was lucky in that I was never really bullied or anything for my size. Because I think a lot of people did experience that. And I don't know why no one bullied me. Like, I don't really...
Well, you talked before about how you were really shy and like maybe you tried to fade into the background.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and I didn't really think about the fact that maybe I did that because I was fat and I knew that I was an easy target. I never really thought about that until I read Shrill, and she said she was the same way as a kid. She was very shy because she didn't want to be noticed. Yeah, and it wasn't until I read that I thought maybe that's why I was so shy. Like,
Yeah.
because my two older sisters, I have three sisters, my two oldest sisters were both like very, always thin and growing up and everything. And they're both quite outgoing. And me and my sister, who's closest in age to me, were both bigger growing up, and we were both really quiet. Shy.
Yeah.
So that's interesting to think about, I think.
That is.
Because, I mean, there was a few instances where other kids called me fat, but I don't even think that they were doing it in a malicious way. I think they were just being kids and be like, hey, you're fat. I was like, yeah, I know, thanks.
Yep, thank you. Appreciate that.
And, hi, buddy. And there was, like, one instance I remember in middle school where someone did say it maliciously, but then I think they felt really bad about it.
They should.
Of my reaction.
That's terrible.
Because I wasn't someone who would, like, really defend myself. I would just sort of be, like shrink and, like...
Oh.
Yeah, so I think that they, like, felt bad about it.
They should feel bad about it. That's horrible. Stupid kid. I was going to bring up the whole Real Women Have Curves movement that happened, and it was supposed to be about, like, body acceptance.
Yeah.
But what it really did was alienate a lot of women for something we can't control.
Yeah. And my thing is, too, like, not all fat women have curves either.
No. And, like, who are you to say what a real woman is?
Exactly.
A real woman is whatever she wants to be.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off with your real women have whatever. Like...
Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, and it's just, why do you have to put someone else down?
Right.
To make you feel better? Like...
Right. If you're really body confident, then you should be body confident without having to put other women down.
Yes.
Like, we should have some kind of solidarity as women with each other, because I think we can all relate to each other in a lot of different areas, even though maybe our experiences have been different slightly. Like, we're still all women, we're still all in this together.
And it's also unfortunate, I think, that we have to think about our bodies so much, because I don't think that's something that men deal with as much.
Right.
And maybe some. I know some men who, like, are bigger dudes, too, who are, like... Who are self-conscious about it and have had, you know, negative experiences because of it.
But I don't think they're judged
and probably the same with skinny dudes, maybe even worse, because, you know, oh, you're small, you're not a man.
Right.
But, yeah, women's bodies are just constantly being...
scrutinized. And I mean, I've seen dudes who are overweight insult a woman for being overweight.
Yeah.
And, like, tell her she wasn't attractive and they couldn't be attracted to her because she's overweight. And it's like, have you weighed yourself right now?
Have you taken a look in the mirror?
Right. Like...
And it's like, you know, you like what you like.
Right. Everyone's
some dudes
different.
aren't gonna like a bigger woman, and some dudes only like bigger women.
Right.
But the thing is with that, too, that kind of pisses me off is that if a dude's only into, like, fat girls, then he's a chubby chaser, and that's some sort of weird
derogatory.
fetish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's thought of as, like, a fetish. But if a dude's only into skinny girls, well, that's normal. You know
that's pretty fucked up. That's pretty fucked up. Yeah, I don't understand that. Or, like, you know, if a dude has sex with a fat chick, sometimes he doesn't want to, like, tell his friends about it.
Yeah.
Like, he's embarrassed. Like, no, you should...
Yeah. And, I mean,
fucked up.
It's sad because... his friends probably would make fun of him for it, you know? In some cases, not in all, obviously, but it's fucked up, and that's why, I mean, not why, but, like, I don't know, I feel like, because in high school, I didn't date at all until I was in college, like, at all. And I feel like it is, I think, partly because of that, because, like, I don't think that necessarily... In fact, I found out later that there were some guys in high school who had, like, been interested in me, but they never acted on that, and it's, like, partially makes me wonder if it's, like, because they thought their friends would make fun of them or something like that, you know? Yeah. But it's, like, I think as men grow, you know, get older and mature, they don't care as much about that. Right. And also, like, you know, if you... Like, women a lot of times will gain weight when they're older, too. So it's like, a dude might, like, marry someone when he's 20 something and she's
Right,
thin
10
then,
years
but
later,
then
she's-
but then she gains weight and
Right.
it's like, you know, once you're older, a lot of your friends are dating plus size women. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it becomes not as big a deal then. But I think in high school, when you're a teenager, I think a lot of guys might, I mean, I'm not a guy, so I don't know, but
Right.
I think a lot of guys might be a little bit more reluctant to date a bigger lady.
Bigger a lady.
Yeah, and it was weird too though, because like there were girls who were, you know, like fat girls who were less attractive than me in my opinion in high school who
Yeah.
did get dates and but
Yeah.
like nobody ever wanted to date me. So I don't know. Maybe I was just intimidating in some way. I don't
Right.
know. I've been told that I'm intimidating. I'm not sure how. But
I don't know. I wonder if it's like because you're smart and you're pretty independent, like you're pretty self-contained. So I don't feel like you need a lot from anyone.
yeah.
And I think some dudes are intimidated by that because they want a girl who's like fawning over them and you're
Yeah.
not that girl.
no.
So like you're very self-contained, like you got yourself, you don't need,
Yeah.
you know, I don't
That
know.
could be. I think it's interesting though to look at like both of our experiences. It's like in some ways you were body shamed more. At least like I feel like I just being a bigger girl, you're body shamed just constantly by
media, by everything. Yeah.
because like you watch TV and it's like the fat people are constantly made fun of on TV
Right.
shows and
They're
in
like the
movies.
bumbly,
yeah,
yeah.
like they're always the butt of the joke and you don't have any role models to look up to, especially for a woman. Like there are no plus size women that I
Right.
could look up to when
Right.
I was a kid. Besides maybe like Roseanne.
Right.
Because like every other plus size woman is like either like the villain or she's made fun of or
Right.
you know whatever. But for you it's like you had more like people to look
Comment,
up to, I think,
yeah,
but it's
yeah.
like people in real life
And-
body
yeah.
shamed you more than I think me.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a lot of comments about my body growing up and like even by family members. I got
Yeah.
comments about like my breasts and things like that because they were underdeveloped. And so it was a really weird experience.
Yeah.
And I think like a lot of times with my friends would say like, they would always be saying like, oh, I wish I were thin like you. I wish I were thin like you. And I always hated that because it was like, well, why can't you just be you and I'll be me?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be someone that you dislike because I'm small, and I don't want to be somebody that makes you feel bad about yourself either.
Anyway, do we have anything else to say? I feel like we got off topic several times, but
We got sidetracked, but
yeah.
that's okay.
Should we revisit the beer?
Yes.
I still like it.
Me
It's
too.
not like
It's not
fantastic,
anything special, but yeah.
it's decent.
It's easy drinking. It's
Yeah.
a good fall beer.
Yeah, it's tasty. I don't have anything like
There's nothing unique
I don't
about
really
it,
have
really.
anything spectacular to say
No,
for
there's-
or against it. It's just like
No, it's a pretty standard Oktoberfest beer. It's a little
Yeah.
bit heavier than a summer beer. But it's not as heavy as like a brown ale or a stout.
yeah, if you guys wanna discuss below, let us
Yeah.
know if you have, you know, what your experiences were regarding
Kind of growing up or just kind of your experience as your size.
right. Let us know. We'd love to hear some other perspectives. If you're a man, did you have issues
Yeah.
with that as well? Like as much as women
Yeah.
do?
Enlighten us. Like, have you had any body image issues?
Yeah. That's going to be it for us today.
Yes. So thank you for watching. As usual, there will be links below where you can find us elsewhere on social media.
And if you have not subscribed yet, please do.
Yes.
And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.